Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Noelle and I review and unbox subscription boxes here in my channel. And today I have one of our favorite international boxes to share with you. It is, of course, the amazing My Ireland box that comes all the way from Dingle, Ireland, with that lovely image of the cliffs of Moher there. Now, it is a very heavy box. You can see there's definitely some damage, some denting, but that is just normal wear and tear when it's coming all the way across the pond to me here on the West Coast. But I'm always excited to see. I'm always taking a peek over in the very active My Ireland Facebook group, and people don't do spoilers. They're very, very polite about that, not ruining the surprise for others. But you know, everyone's always just saying how wonderful this box is, how it's their favorite ever. Honestly, my favorite box was probably last month's box, the March box, with that adorable cap and that beautiful scarf and the delicious, delicious chocolate. I mean, that was one of my favorite My Ireland boxes ever. So I am very anxious to see what we've got inside of this one. It's all bundled up in that fluorescent green tissue paper. My Ireland box is $49.95 per month plus the shipping, which is just $15.50, again, all the way to us here in the US, which I think is great. It is wonderful for anyone who has any Irish heritage or has ever visited Ireland and just been really touched by the magic of that country, the Emerald Isle. I don't know why I have such an affinity for it. I obviously have lots of friends and family who are Irish. I have visited Ireland once. I loved it so much. I always joke that maybe it's just because I grew up on an island as well with a lot of green, and so maybe that's what I love. But I also really love their heritage, the oral tradition, the poets and songwriters that have come out of Ireland. I just think they're a very talented people. So I'm gonna just pull everything out because usually Catherine's booklet is down on the bottom, and then it kind of gives me an idea of where to look in the box. Woo, just dropped that. Nothing else was in there, thankfully. Where to look in the box, because it looks like we have quite a veritable array of things this time. Sometimes we'll get as few as 3 items in the box, and sometimes we'll get like 6 or 7 items in the box. So here is her booklet, and the theme for April is Step Inside the Irish Farmhouse, and this booklet is really one of the beautiful items that is included every time. She has a whole section telling us about the makers, their stories, and she always has like a whole section where she's telling us what's just going on in Ireland right now, which I absolutely love. Oh, I just recognized one of my own images in there from a past box, so that's kind of fun. That's always a delight to me as well. But what beautiful foliage and flowers. So let me just read the first paragraph so we kind of get an idea about the theme. It says, 10 years ago, wow, 10 years ago, you guys, we sent our first ever My Ireland boxes of Irish-made surprises across the pond to America and Canada. Imagine that we have subscribers that have been with us since then. Wow, if you are one of the OG My Ireland box subscribers, please let me know in the comments below. It says, I was expecting my first child when the idea of sharing our culture and traditions in such a unique and wonderful way came to mind. I remember the very first craft fair that Tom and I went to in Dublin. We met all of these amazingly inspired makers. There was so much talent and treasures to choose from for this first special My Ireland box back in 2013. I did not realize that this was their 10-year anniversary. It says, I was in awe of the makers and their stories and their passion for our ancient Irish crafts. Some of them had previous careers that they left to follow their passion, and others had been making their Irish-made treasures all of their working lives. I just love that. How wonderful. And then she'll have stories and poems. She'll tell us about legends and folklore sometimes, and just beautiful, beautiful nature images. Look at that bullfrog down there. That is awesome. Okay, let me see if I can find the Meet the Makers section. So she does sometimes include, yes, so the booklet. You all know how much I love to write this for you. I have stacks of books on my desk here about Ireland, and what a great excuse to accumulate them for my research. I love to browse on Duchas, Ireland, and read the stories from the 1930s, collected from the young and old back then, when they shared the stories and traditions and so much more that were passed down to them by their ancestors. I know you all like the booklet as much as I enjoy writing it. If there's anything else you'd like to know about that I could write within the booklet, please let me know. I love that. And then there's usually a recipe card. Maybe I did drop that on the ground. Hopefully I didn't lose my recipe card. I don't see the recipe card this time around, but it's probably in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Found it. It was hiding under a recipe book. Spoiler alert. Ooh, these look really good. I will say that lately the recipes have been looking a lot more doable. Occasionally there have been some recipes where I just looked at the ingredient list and I was like, that's too complicated for me. But this is the kids' favorite coconut and jam loaf from County Kerry, Ireland. This is a hit in my house, and since our current playdates involve baking, we're trying out lots of the old recipes. We used to bake this loaf as kids and it's pretty yummy. I wanted to send you a recipe that involved strawberry jam. Again, spoiler alert, but those look delicious. One of these days, you guys, one of these days. I say it every single time we get a My Ireland box that I will do the recipes sometimes, but I'm already seeing something that's going to give me some extra work for my photo taking. I'm not sure if I'm, because of some of the items in this box, I don't know if I'm going to get around to it before I take off on my little trip. But now we have our whole Let's Meet the Makers section. So you can see there's sometimes a whole page or two about each of the makers. So I won't read all of that to you, but I will do my best to share. So speaking of, since you already know that there is a cookbook in here, let me go ahead and show it to you. Traditional Irish Cooking for Today by Brian McDermott. Let's hope for some beautiful pictures. Oh yes, we do. Bacon and cheese soda bread. I did used to always make soda bread for St. Patrick's Day, so maybe with bacon and cheese would be even better. A scone 3 ways. Ooh, orzo pasta with bacon and cabbage. Yes, look at these gorgeous images, you guys. I love this. Wild Atlantic Way fish pie. I've never made a fish pie. I don't even know if I've ever eaten a fish pie, but oh, herby roast leg of lamb. See, that's a little bit more involved for me. It says, I have a new friend in Elena from O'Brien Press. It says, we share love for books on Ireland and any recipe books we can get our hands on. So when something new pops into the press, or we have a chat about an upcoming My Ireland box theme and there's a best-selling book that Elena feels we would all love, she'll send it down to me. I only ever choose for you what I love myself. In this recipe book, I seem to be taking out quite a lot. And then she suggests a few of the recipes. So Brian McDermott is delighted that his recipe book is now across the Atlantic in homes in the USA and Canada and further afield. He is an award-winning chef and food consultant who is passionate about sharing his love of food with others. As a host, presenter, and demonstrator, he is one of the most sought-after chefs on the Irish Food Festival circuit. Ooh. It says he is the author of several cookbooks and is a regular on RTE, BBC, and the radio, and in the local and national press. So that sounds so good. Ireland is famed for the quality of its ingredients, from free-range, grass-fed meat and dairy to the abundance of seafood from the waters around this island nation. Brian McDermott's cooking is influenced and inspired by Irish produce and traditions, from Mammy's Irish stew to black pudding dipping fritters. Pass on that. From mackerel on toast to Atlantic fish pie, from shortbread to scones, this book will bring you the many tastes of Ireland and a warm sense of home. Look, fishy, fishy. All right, you guys, let's see what else we've got. Ooh, speaking of delicious treats, let me show you. I am excited about this. We have gotten items like this before from Kilbeggan. That's their Irish Oat Cookies. So good, you guys. So good. I love a good family business, and the Lawler family make great food. The fact that their oats are organic really floats my boat. In 1999, Pat Layler decided to convert the entire farm to organic status. This means that the oat crop is grown in soil that is enriched and sustained by good farming practice, and they do not use pesticides, herbicides, or artificial fertilizers when growing their oats. You'll eat your delicious oat cookies as nature intended. Oh my gosh, you guys, all of the sweet treats that Catherine sends to us are amazing. I forget what the other cookies we got from Kilbeggan were, but they were like soft and delicious and perfect. So I'm so excited about this, and it looks like, I love that she sends us the full boxes. Like, that's like a good dozen cookies in there, so that's awesome. This is adorable. So I'm hoping this doesn't mean that we are not having a sheep box this year, because there's a sheep themed item here. This is, I know I saw it somewhere. This is not what that is. Gotta find it, gotta find it. This is from Samuel Lamont and Sons Home Textiles in Lurgan, County Armagh. You guys, look how cute that sheep is. It says, I met Joe Lamont at Showcase Ireland Craft Fair at the end of January. We happily browsed through his collection of Irish textiles. He had so much to show off to me, knowing how much our members love Irish-made textiles. I knew that I wanted to send you more this year, and this particular tea towel looked cute for your kitchen and reminded me of the quality of old-fashioned waffle textiles would be seen in older times in one's kitchen. I just have to snap this open. It's got a little plastic tab keeping it all closed up. says Joe set his team in County Armagh to work over the following weeks to make these for our members, so specially made for the box, you guys. It says, I love mine, always such great quality from Joe and his team. Our members called for more kitchen textiles, which I guess what you ask for you get, and we have granted the wish. I often use my nice tea towels as tray cloths too, or place one on the windowsill over the kitchen sink. Show them off, I say. So how cute. Okay, so we have this little hook, but here is our little sheepy, and then it's this beautiful green and that nice waffle texture. It says, no Irish kitchen is without a collection of good tea towels, and the lady of the house baking away in the kitchen with a good tea towel slung over her shoulder. Okay, that's me I'm writing about. The quality is just perfect, and I could not be without this one in my kitchen. So let's see, it says, this waffle Ireland tea towel by one of my favorite Irish linen companies is a perfect representation of Ireland and the Irish farmhouses. Enjoy it in yours. So it's just a nice big tea towel. Now I will admit I absolutely love the little sheepy. It's so cute, and I like that it says Ireland. Although I will say I probably would have preferred it without that embellishment, because anytime we get a box that has the box brand name or the destination name in travel boxes, to me it can feel a little bit souvenir-ish, right? And then also I love the sheep, and I love really like kawaii cutesy things, but I feel like that takes a little bit away from the elegance of it. So I guess maybe if you want to have that, you can just hang it the other way on your oven rack if you want, on your oven handle. But if you are cute and cheeky, you can have the sheep facing out. So I guess we have it both ways. So it's not on the other side. So if you want to hide your sheep and be very sophisticated, you can. And if you want to have your souvenir tea towel, you can do that as well. All right, we also got some berries tea, which we get, I would say, probably once a quarter, because you guys love the berries tea. I have to say, I have so much tea that I don't always get through it. So I think that she's sent it so many times to us now that it's not even in the booklet this time around. But this one, instead of the green package, this is berries tea gold. I guess this is their most loved blend. So it's 40 tea bags, and they're just like the little square ones, little paper ones. We do have a couple more items to go through though. This looks exciting. It says Holden leather goods on it. So I'll have to open this up. I don't know if I can get into it without ripping the sticker. We always have to rip the sticker, don't we? Which is a shame, because I do like to take photos. It's just, like I said, I gotta do the unboxing first. And sometimes, let's see. All right, so it says, she's talking about how she met him. It says, my kids horse ride at Burnham Woods here in Dingle, and nestled within the woods is an old school that is now home to the Holden Leather Goods workshop. I often wander in there to admire the workmanship of Connor Holden, and for a chat. And here's a picture of Connor. I wanted to send you a surprise from him, and this key ring with the Celtic stamp was a lovely token from Ireland for you. Connor took weeks to make these for our members, and I love them. I thought of the key in the back door of the farmhouse of my mother's family home in County Tyrone. What better way to think of Ireland every day than with this handmade leather key ring that you can use on your own door, and perhaps remember the old farmhouses of Ireland when you do. So lovely. It's just a very dark green leather, and then we have, it's a shamrock. I guess I should hold it upright. And then you can see that engraved into it is a Celtic knot. So it says about Connor, he was born and bred in Dublin and started working life as a training hotel manager. That's wonderful. So anyway, he wound up working with leather eventually. Let's see. It says the holiday in Dingle in 1988 ultimately led Connor to setting up the workshop in this beautiful and inspiring location in Dingle. So yes, that's what it says. Oh, yes. And then it says, enjoy using your leather keyring that was made with an old schoolhouse within an old schoolhouse nestled in the ancient Burnham Woods of Dingle. So it is a really pretty green. You can see the green a little bit more there on the back. It's just the raw leather, but it is a nice polished leather. So again, key rings are just something that I personally don't use a lot. This would be a very chic bag charm though, if you had it on a nice leather bag. And sometimes she does special giveaways, you guys, so it's really fun box and community to be part of. But this is lovely. I'm glad to have a new maker that we haven't seen in here before, and I would love to see some more of his goods in there. But how wonderful. I wonder how many subscribers my Ireland box has these days, because I know that she has to pre-order a lot of these custom made items way ahead. All right, we did have that other spoiler, remember, about the recipe and something that we could use in the recipe. So this is, of course, we have some Skellig Jam made the traditional way. It says it's made in Skellig Skellig County Kerry. It is some strawberry jam. Let me see if I can find the page that's all about this. I'm so excited. Ooh, you guys, we got tea, we got cookies, we got some textiles to make your tea look nice so you can flip through your recipe book. So here it is, a nice big kind of hexagonal jar, I guess. It says, we are Richie and Jackie Green, a husband and wife team. Richie comes from a family of chefs and has always had a love of all things cooking and food. As a child, he would watch his grandmother making jam and marmalade on the family farm in Wexford. Although we both hail from Dublin, we've lived in beautiful Ballinskelligs for over 20 years. We love the beauty of the area and the slow pace of life, and this has inspired us to be true to our craft. Richie originally started making jams and marmalades for our bed and breakfast. So many guests asked if they could purchase it from us that we started producing it on a small scale in our spare time. When lockdown happened, so this is recent, it says both of our careers were put on hold. This gave us the opportunity to research the feasibility of setting up a business making jams, marmalades, and sauces. In August 2020, we set up Skellig Jam. Our products are all made using the small batch method by hand in open pots to enhance the flavors, and we use only the finest ingredients. We have a range of 18 products, and we are currently stocked in over 100 retail outlets in Kerry. We entered 3 of our products in this year's Blazen, I can't read the Gaelic, sorry, Blasna Hayden Awards, and we're delighted to get to the finals with 2 of them. I'm so glad I picked up Skellig, this is from Catherine, I think. I'm so glad I picked up Skellig Jam in a local store here in Dingle recently because I love it. To support a thrilled Jackie and Richie feels great. Enjoy this little pot of jam from County Kerry on your, this is the last item that I'll tell you about. So this is from Nicola Smith of Big Red Kitchen, which we have gotten some of her products before in little glass jars. I think my favorite was like the lemon curd. I think that came from her. So this is, look at this package. Doesn't it? It almost looks like it's from the butcher shop with the string. It's a wheaten bread mix, and I love when we get bread mixes in my Ireland box because they're always so easy. And I did notice that in the back of the booklet, not only has she left a little space for us for notes, but she has also given us a conversion chart. Let me see if I can find it. I saw it in here somewhere. Yes, UK-US conversion chart, which is so important for those recipes. There have been times when I've actually reached out to the company that was featured in the box, and they've always been really great about getting back to me. So, ooh, it does, we're little like sneak peeks for what's coming up for the summer, you guys. So I'm very excited. It says, get those senses ready because we're taking you on a trip around Ireland's acclaimed and awesome coastline, that of the Wild Atlantic Way. So that's on the way, you guys. Wow. All right, so coming back to our wheaten bread mix, it says, what we love about this little cottage business is just that. It is not in the slightest bit taken by the lure of the big supermarkets who would love to stock Nicola's products. Nicola understands what it means to be a cottage industry, and she never wants to deviate from her principles. This is why it is so special that we are sending you this bread mix. We've been baking this bread for a few years, and we just look forward to it every morning, slathered in real Irish butter, yes indeed, and delicious Irish jam. It stays fresh for a couple of days and is just lovely toasted after day 2 or 3, right? When it's starting to get a little crustier. Since the old Irish farmhouse, when the smells hit you from the oven and when you first cut right into the delicious traditional Irish loaf. Baking this brings back 2 memories for Catherine here at My Ireland Box. Visiting her Gaelic-speaking grandfather's home in Dingle, where he would sit at his kitchen table mixing his bread mix and milk with his hands, and then forming a round dough and putting it into the oven. His elder cousin taught him how to make the bread, and it was wonderful to see an older man that lived alone being so self-sufficient. The next memory that this smell brings to life is when Catherine climbed Mount Brandon, Ireland's 2nd highest mountain in Ireland that we can see from My Ireland Box headquarters, and she walked to her aunt's cottage after her descent for a glass of water. A lady called Maureen was in the renovated pink cottage, and she whipped out of the oven the most delicious smelling soda bread and placed 2 slices in front of the tired hiker who had never tasted anything so nice in a long time. The memory lingers to this day. So I love that we got something else from Nicola. So hopefully it's super duper easy. It says combine bread with 1 1/4 cups of whole milk and an egg. Pour into a parchment-lined loaf pan and bake in a preheated oven. And she even did all the conversions for us at 350 Fahrenheit for 45 to 50 minutes until nicely golden. And then she does say, optionally, top with some pinhead oatmeal or seeds for extra crunch. But yes, just to put it in a nice loaf pan. So I do, when I do photos, I do try to make the bread mixes if they are doable. So I don't know if I'm going to get those up before I head out on my trip, but I will do my best for you, and if not, it will be like the first thing on my list. But I like you guys to see how easy, if someone like me can actually bake the bread, then so can you. So just going over all of the lovely items that we received in our box to enjoy our own sense of an Irish farmhouse. Of course, we got our recipe card and our booklet. We got our traditional Irish cooking recipe book to peruse. We got some cookies. We got some tea. And to add to our tea time experience, we got a nice easy bread mix and some strawberry jam that I am thrilled to try. And then, of course, we also got a nice tea towel, which you can have your sheep facing out or facing in, and then a lovely handmade leather keychain. So another fabulous box from my Ireland box. Maybe I'll have to wear my cap when I'm doing my baking. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you could help me out with a thumbs up, I would truly, truly appreciate it. And I'll see you all very, very soon in my next unboxing.